Hello, and welcome to the first episode, the first installment of T-Boys, the first podcast, golf podcast of the Philippines. I'm Mike Besa, and this is my partner, Jed Lianes.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Now, this is something that Jed and I had wanted to do for a very long time.
For a very long time. Well, because I suggested this to you.
Yeah.
My wife and I have a podcast called Canon Convos. So basically, it's doing well, but we're talking about things under the sun.
Right. Anything. Everything.
Couple, being married life, travels, and stuff like that. So I was thinking, how come we don't have anything for golf?
Right.
Our main avenue of discussion, of conversation, is basically on Facebook.
Right, exactly.
Or on the golf course.
Exactly. That's it.
You had a TV show before.
Yep.
And you still have your column now.
Yep.
But again, I was telling you, millennials, we don't.
That's right. Nobody
don't,
reads papers anymore.
We don't
Well,
read newspapers.
not too many people read
You know
papers
what? We
anymore.
don't actually watch TV anymore.
That's true. I don't either.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
everything is. That's the thing in the age of in this digital age, you can make your own programming, right? And
Exactly.
I think that Philippine golf has so many unique things to it. And just the title, right? T-Boys, right? That's a good little story there by itself. When Jed came up, when Jed and I were chatting on Facebook, and we're like, God, we got to call the show something unique, right? It's got to be something that's uniquely Filipino. And what's uniquely Filipino about golf? And really, the first thing that came into my head was T-Boys and Umbrella Girls.
That's right.
T-Boys and Umbrella Girls. We weren't going to call the show Umbrella Girls. So
Of course.
T-Boys was a pretty good. Now, for those of our friends and that aren't in the country, aren't in the Philippines, and are wondering what a T-boy is, at our driving ranges here in the Philippines, we don't tee it up on mats. A lot of them, the older ranges, don't tee it up on mats. They don't tee it up on the turf. It's basically mud, right? It's watered down mud.
Yeah.
It's hardened mud,
It's
and
really rough
you have this a T-boy or a T-girl that makes these little mud tees and sets the ball on them for you to hit. And after you hit the ball, they'll just tee another one up, and that's a T-boy. It's something that was really unique. I've had a couple of American friends that have come over, and we've gone to the range together, and they are just blown away that
That's true.
on one hand they're afraid that they might kill the kid
Yeah.
because they're sitting right by the golf ball, and on the other hand they can't get over the novelty of it. And it's like, wow, I'm not even going to tee up the ball. No, so they're going to do it for you. So that's the reason of the show, and we want to make the show really about the uniqueness of local golf.
Yes, and the uniqueness of local golf, and we have two different eras of.
Right.
So this partnership is very unique.
That's true. That's true. We come from different ages, the two of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I come from the younger generation, not
Yeah,
super
well,
young.
tell them about. Why don't you go ahead and tell the audience how you got into the game and where you play at and that sort of thing.
Well, my dad has been playing golf, not for a long time, but he started playing golf when we were in Canada. So I grew up in Canada. And in the States, as you would know, and in Canada, there are golf courses everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
And
these
it's
are
cheap to play.
Cheap to play, and then it's easily accessible
Right.
to anybody.
Right.
You can go at any time of the day and
Yep.
get a tee time easily.
Easy.
So he started playing golf there. At that time, I was still playing basketball. So basketball is my main sport. I went to Ateneo for college, and I played in the Team B of the basketball team while I was there. And then after college, I met my wife. My wife is Polina. So if you're into the golf world here in the Philippines, you know that Polina is one of the June golfers.
Yep.
Back in the day, who was doing pretty well.
When I was editing Swing magazine, we actually did a swing feature on Polina. She was one of the top juniors at the time, top girls at the time.
Yeah.
And we did a feature on her swing with Mike Jed doing the
Yes.
commentary, and it was really quite a good swing. It was a little long, but juniors, the swings are going to be a little
Yes.
longer because
Very jumpy.
and your kids are really flexible,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The swings tighten up as they get a little older. But Polina had a great swing, so I remember her. I remember the experience distinctly.
Yeah. So, and her dad's a golfer also. Her dad is Vic Soto.
Yeah, yeah. He's a big golfer. Yeah.
He's a big golfer. Her uncle Tito Soto is also a big golfer. Her other uncle Maru is also a golfer. So
Yeah,
she
no,
comes from.
he's probably the best golfer of the three, right?
Yes, right now I would say he's pretty.
He's pretty good, yeah.
So they play in Southwood and stuff like that. So I picked up golf because she was the captain of the Ateneo golf team.
There you go.
So I would go to the range. I would hang out, and then said, one day that you know what? Well, how come I have yet to try this sport? I used to hit a couple of balls in Canada with my dad, but it wasn't very serious.
Yeah, just to hang
So
out with your dad.
So I started, trying it out. I had the weirdest swing. I had the flattest swing in the world. I entered with a 26 handicap. That was 5 years ago. That was in 2014.
And now you are a.
I'm now a third. Okay, so if you get the story from her, I became obsessed with the game.
Yeah.
To the point that every day I would read up about it, read golf stories.
Which is typical for a golfer, right? I mean, this is a very obsessive compulsive
It
game.
is.
Once you really get into it, I mean, there's just no stopping you.
Yeah.
There's just no stopping.
How about you? How'd you get into golf?
Well, not the traditional way. I was a very active athlete. Did all kinds of sports. I played competitive basketball. I was nationally ranked as a tennis player, nationally ranked as a squash player. I eventually became the national for a national coach for squash. And at a certain point, the injuries that I'd accumulated over the years of competing began to tell, and I developed osteoarthritis in my ankle, and that pretty much ended my active athletic career. And I'm a real type A personality. I mean, and sports has always been my refuge. Some people drink when they're depressed. Some people get high when they're depressed. I need to go out and run. I need to do a sport when something upsets me or when I need to find some kind of equilibrium. But if you're lame, you don't have too many options. And it came down to a choice between billiards, which everybody plays here, and golf, which not too many people play here. I picked up golf once, right? Because a buddy of mine who used to be the best golfer in Baguio, it was his birthday coming up, and he convinced the whole group, the whole gang, that it would be a great idea if we all went up to Baguio and got drunk and played golf in that order, right? We'd drink first, go on the golf course, and play golf. And of course, the drinking carried on way past the first tee. I mean, we had beers with us the entire way, and it was fun. It was fun. It's my first real exposure to the game. I went to the driving range for 30 days. Really just trying to make the ball fly because I knew we were going to play in the mountains and all of that. And then I put my sticks down again. This was December of '93, and I put my sticks down and didn't touch the club again until I got work with a multinational company. And in my interview with my boss, my soon-to-be boss, the first question of the interview was, "Do you play golf?" First question. Nothing about experience, nothing about, "Do you play golf?" And my answer to him was, "I do now." And that was it. Right? Basically, that was it. This was, our first game together was, I'll never forget it, February 14, 1994.
Wow. I was 3.
It was a Valentine's Day, right? I mean, a good day to fall in love with a new sport. We played our first round together at the old Capital course. Okay. This was before they shortened it and cut all the holes. This was still
pretty long.
Yeah, it was most of the original layout.
Okay.
They had eaten up a few holes on the back nine, but the front nine was pretty much intact as it was, and there was no stopping me from there. I mean, one thing just led to the other, and you know, flash forward to today, and I've been playing 26 years now, just about. Which is not much, you know, because I didn't play as a junior. I took it up into my 30s, and I've worked as a golf journalist since, 2000 and December 2004. So that makes this, 20 years.
Wow.
No, 15 years. I'm sorry, 15 years.
years.
It's been a while, man. It's been a pretty good ride. But for those of you who aren't familiar with my work, I used to be the editor-in-chief of Swing Magazine. I was the editor-in-chief of Golf Digest Philippines. I edited a magazine called Phil Golf for a little while, a few issues. And my last stint as a magazine editor was Impact Magazine.
Okay.
Right, and then I'm currently the golf editor of the Business Mirror. I have a twice, sometimes 3 times monthly frequency. I mean, I'm out 2 to 3 times a month, every first, third, and if there's a fifth Saturday, the fifth Saturday of every month. So if you're looking for my work, that's where you'll find it. I also have a blog, Golf is More Fun in the Philippines. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I mean, if you're on social media and you're golf, hook up with me.
Yeah. So for the millennials, the magazines are. So what are magazines?
And this is something that print media has been struggling with the last decade, is how to transition gracefully into the new media.
Yeah,
which is now, it's whatever you want on demand.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to sit through a whole program for 5 minutes of what you really want to listen to. You can just go to whatever channel that you're interested in and get 100% of your content there.
Exactly. On YouTube, I mean.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
so this is really
things on
perfect.
YouTube?
This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is the perfect segue for what I'm doing, what I used to do, to what we can do in the future.
Yeah.
Right? Because as far as I'm concerned, this is the media of the future.
And I mean, and this is, I mean, this is conversational.
Yeah.
This is basically off the top of our heads. This is not edited whatsoever.
We came in here with a broad plan.
Yeah.
Really broad, nothing specific. And, we're just going to sit here and talk until we make sense of whatever it is that we're talking about.
Of course, we have limitations also, but I mean, with anything we have limitations.
Sure.
This podcast will basically talk about everything and anything golf related here in the Philippines.
And we want to hear from you. All right? So we really want to hear from you. We want to know what you would like to hear about, to listen to on this show. And we're going to make it interesting for you. If you can comment, subscribe to our YouTube page, subscribe to our podcast on any one of the podcast channels. Yeah. We'll be on Spotify, Castbox, SoundCloud, Alexa,
Stitcher,
Apple, name it. We'll be up there. Subscribe to the podcast, comment on YouTube, and we will raffle off 2 green fee certificates for 4 people at Forest Hills Golf and Country Club. So we're raffling off 2 flights of 4. All right? The 2 winners. So subscribe, like, and comment.
So thank you to Forest Hills for sponsoring our...
This is a great golf course, right?
It is.
And we are so lucky on our very, very first issue, our very, very first show, we have a sponsor. We wanted to thank Hotel LeBlanc for taking care of us. If you guys are playing golf in the east side of Manila, this is a great little hotel. It's up in Antipolo, very accessible to all the three golf courses here. It's right in the middle of Valley, Forest Hills, and Eastridge. Yeah. So if you're staying and playing, if you want to stay and play in this area, I can't recommend another hotel more highly. Yes. Thank you, Hotel LeBlanc.
It's in the middle.
Yeah,
so you can do
perfect.
like a 3-day.
Easy.
3-day tour.
It's a great little hotel. There's only 38 rooms. It's got a great little restaurant. The food is very good. Yeah. It's reasonably priced. The rooms are clean. The Wi-Fi is fast.
I'll insert some pictures.
Yeah, it's just the ideal place to stay in this area. So, if you need a hotel here, that's your best bet.
Yeah.
So look out for our next show. Okay.
Yeah, so our next show is gonna be.
Let's give them a teaser. Tell them what it's about.
On October 7. So this is gonna be about Forest Hills.
And we got to talk with both the general manager, Raymond Bunkin, who has managed some of the best golf courses in the country, and Mr. Jude Eustachio, who is a very highly decorated amateur golfer that played Division I golf in the United States. He is, I won't let too much out of the bag. You've got to come and listen to the next episode.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
It was a very good one.
We review the course. We talk about the course. We talk about the ins and outs of both the Nicholas and the Palmer course.
And a lot of other stuff besides.
Yeah,
I mean, it's too much to go into here because we talked for a good hour and a half. So
let's talk to them a little bit more about what's our goal with this podcast. What do we want?
I want to grow golf. Really. Okay? Golf is a sport. Many of you don't remember this, but there was a time when golf was one of the premier sports in the Philippines. It was almost as watched as basketball, if you can believe that. And the Philippines was a power in golf. Okay, we had Filipinos that were ranked among the top in the world. Really, among the top in the world. We had an amateur. We were the first amateur to play the Masters twice. Filipino, right? Golem Silverio. And this was the time, the golden age of golf. I want to be able to bring those days back. Yes. Well, maybe that's it's too lofty a goal, but hey, if we can get just halfway there, with the demographics today, golf would be huge in the country.
For sure. And it's not a sport that you need to be tall physically, you need to be fast.
No. That's the amazing thing about golf. I have friends, that don't look athletic at all. All right? I mean, the way they walk, the way they carry themselves, the way they move around, you think that, oh God, how can this guy play golf?
Yeah.
But then you see him hit a golf ball, and I promise you, your jaw is just going to hit the floor.
I have some friends like that also.
It's amazing. So, and then this is a sport that you can play almost from cradle to grave. I mean, exactly. I have a couple of older gentlemen friends that have passed away on the golf course. I mean, this is not a great thing to talk about, but it just illustrates the fact that, human beings in any condition, in any physical shape, can play.
Yeah.
We have a large range of tees. Some golf courses have 5-6 sets of tees. I mean, there's a tee box for every ability level.
Yeah.
Right? You can play injury-free. I mean, this is a sport that you have to try really hard to get hurt at. Or you have to do something really stupid to get hurt at, right? I mean, and really, if you know how, if somebody could guide you along, it really isn't that expensive to play. I remember when golf first hit in the 90s. I mean, golf was like super expensive, right? I mean, because club shares were $1 million pesos at least, ranging up all the way to 10-20 million pesos. But today, you can get membership, just playing rights in a golf course, for less than 100,000 pesos. I mean, how much does a nice bicycle cost these days?
Exactly.
Man?
Yes.
I mean, seriously, how much does a nice bicycle cost these days? That's
true.
$500,000 more,
Yeah.
depending on what you want on it, right? So, in that light, golf is pretty affordable. You don't have to buy your clubs new.
Yeah.
You can buy experienced clubs for a third or less of the price. I mean, you can buy experienced golf balls. Just play the public courses. Go to the range. I mean, you don't need to buy a club share. You don't even need to be a member in a club.
Yeah. You don't need the most expensive golf clubs.
You don't need the most expensive golf clubs. So if you really, really wanted to play, hey, reach out to us, man. We'll get you started.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? We'll get you started.
We'll play tomorrow.
We're hooked up. We can get you the equipment. We can get you the lessons.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Hit us up on our page. Hit us up. And
I mean,
if you need help, we're here to help.
That's our goal.
Yeah,
the goal
that's our
of this
goal.
podcast.
We want to help people.
Yeah, we want to help
Right?
people.
We want to help you get into golf. We want to help the game grow.
Yeah, especially now that Yuka, Bianca, and
Yeah, we've got guys. We have a lot of. See, this is what I find so exciting about where golf is today, because now we've got a professional tour again after 10 years of not having one. We've got a professional tour, and it's healthy. We've got a men's tour and a ladies tour and an international tour, all based here, right? And we've got all this equipment now that's available. There are no bad golf clubs anymore. Before, you had to be really choosy because you could get some real dogs, But today, that's not even true anymore. I mean, there are no more. I like to say there's no more bad golf clubs. It's just bad fits.
Yeah.
So if you need help in that regard, we're here to help you.
I mean, it's so easy to get. It's so easy to get golf clubs these days on the Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook pages. You don't even have to leave your house.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's not going to come from abroad. It'll come from maybe the town next door,
and
maybe
we have
another province, but that's it.
When we have all of these golfers who are very generous, and then they sell their old used clubs for
like
much
nothing,
less.
man. I mean, like 30-40% half off what they bought it for, right? It's out there, okay? It still might sound expensive to a lot of you. Yes, it's a lot more expensive than running because all you need is a nice pair of running shoes and maybe a heart rate monitor. But it's a sport that you can do until you drop dead, literally, almost, right? If you can walk around and if you can turn your shoulders this way or that way, you can play golf, right? It's not hard. It's not that hard. And we want the game to grow. We want the Philippines to focus on something. We want Filipinos to focus on a sport that Filipinos can excel at. No matter how good we think we are at basketball, we're never going to win anything of note.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a big basketball player when I was a kid. Yeah. I used to play competitive basketball twice a week. I mean, this was serious stuff, man. Yeah. We would practice, we would train. But we went nowhere.
Yeah. And we have basketball players who are actually doing really well on the golf course.
Yes.
RJ
Rizada,
RJ Rizada. Mark Delan.
Yeah, Mark and the former club champion here at Forest Hills, the late Alfier Mario. I mean, this guy was a one handicap, man. I mean, he was really good. Vince Hison. Yeah. So it's a sport that people transition to eventually. Yeah. Well, why wait?
Exactly.
Right?
I did not wait.
Why wait? Why wait? Why go through all of that? Now, I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, right? You play other sports, that's probably good for you because you're going to develop your athleticism and all of that. But if you want a sport that you can play for the rest of your life, if you want a sport that you can play with your children and grandchildren, golf is it, man.
Yeah,
there really isn't another sport that I can think of that allows you to do all of those things. I mean, it's not going to be basketball.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, it's not going to be soccer. Yeah. You could walk together, but that's pretty much it, right? So, I don't know, man. Golf is it. So if you want a sport for all seasons, for all reasons, don't look any further. It's golf.
Yeah, for sure. So we can end this?
Yeah. Let's wrap up. we'll wrap up the show right
This
here.
is,
This is an intro.
episode.
Yeah.
This is the pilot episode.
This is the pilot episode.
We just wanted
So
to introduce ourselves.
we just wanted to get to know you guys and let you know what we've got in store for our next show. But remember our giveaways. Remember our raffle.
Yeah.
We're raffling off 2 flights, 4 people each, at Forest Hills Golf and Country Club. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube page. Tell us what you want to listen to. Tell us what we can do to make the show better. We're open. We're starting from ground zero, and we're working with you. We want to work with you to make this your show.
If you guys don't have anyone to play with in that flight, we're always
hit us
game
up.
to play.
Hit us up. We're easy.
All right.
So we're gonna leave it right there.
See you guys.
We will see
next
you
week.
on our next show.
All right. Bye.